Hey, today I want to show you really quickly how to save and load data with Unity's Cloud Code system. If you've never used it before, it's extremely simple and straightforward. You'll see with just how short this video is, and it's really powerful as well. There's a lot more to it. You can use it to save your entire game state off. You can use it to store off, like, I'd say almost a full MMO worth of data if you wanted to, or really simple stuff. You can store off just the player's current level, their current progress in the game, or whatever else you want. I'm going to show you how to get started with it, though. It's really, really simple. First thing you need to do is have a Unity project. Here I've got one built in, this is 2023.2. Then you'll need the Cloud Save asset or CloudSave package in the package manager. Go install that CloudSave package. You'll also need the authentication package because to associate a CloudSave bit of data with a player, you need to have a player. Don't worry, the player setup is going to take about 2 seconds. You really can just enable the Unity setup for it and it'll just work. So here we go. CloudSave is almost installed. It'll take, let's see, probably longer for us to compile these scripts than to write the code. With that done, we'll go grab the authentication system as well. So we'll find authentication. Oh, look at that. It's already installed because it was a dependency of Cloud Code. Once it finishes importing and compiling, you'll need to enable a login setup. So to do that, we'll go to Services and go to Authentication and Configure. You need to add an identity provider, and the one that I would recommend you add is the username and password option. It's disappeared from my option, and I can't remove it after adding it, but it's the one that allows you to do very basic adding a user and a password, and it's great for debugging, testing, and building things out. Then you can switch over to using Unity's player accounts, which has Google Authentication or Steam or any of the other options later. Here I've got username and password authentication enabled, and we have a simple script on a game object called CloudSave example. Let's take a look at it in action real quick, and then I'll show you exactly how it works and how you can use this in your own games. We'll press play. And I've got a little bit of player data here. I've got a name, a level, and class. This could be any amount of data, though. It could be a large JSON bit of data or a bunch of characters or a big array of stuff. And I press play, and you'll see that the first thing I got was permission denied trying to log in. And that's because I've disabled that authentication provider. Let's go back to it. If I go to Services, Authentication, and Configuration, see that I've got it here, but it's not marked as enabled. If I enable that, hit save, and then we play one more time, we should see that it now logs in. And since I've already created an account, it'll just say that we're logged in. Let's see. Oh, actually it doesn't say anything at all. Now let's put some player data in here. I've added a randomize button that just gives me a random player name, a random level, and a random class. They're just kind of a number and some words. And I've got them randomized, so we're player 23 with level 42, class 62. I'm going to save this data off. We're going to stop playing. Nothing in memory anymore. We'll play again, and we're going to load, and that's going to pull the data from Cloud Code, and then we're going to jump into the code and see exactly the couple lines that make this magic all work. So I hit load data. Look at that. I've got player 23, level 42. If I randomize a bunch of times and hit load data again, I go right back to that saved data. If I randomize again, though, and save, say I wanted this to be player 13 and it's now level 71. I mean, probably I wouldn't change the name every time or the class, but the level and experience I might. We save that data though, and then randomize again, load, and we go right back to the 71. All right, let's stop playing, see how this all works. If we open up our CloudSave example script, here it is. We can see right at the beginning of the start method, we do a couple important things. This is an asynchronous start method because we're going to call a bunch of asynchronous Unity services. Well, one Unity service. But the first thing we need to do is call the Unity service initialize async. This is something that you have to call before using any of the Unity services, including authentication. After that, I call the sign in with username and password, and I've got a nice hard-coded username with an amazingly good password. Now, they do have some pretty strict password requirements. You have to have an uppercase, a number, and a special character, and a lowercase, I think. So if you want to use that and you get an error, make sure that you just put something in. I like this for quick testing before I want to do authentication where I have to actually log in with a pop-up in Google Chrome or something else, or using a Steam account. I like to use this one because I get a single account and it'll show up on the back end as one account. If you use anonymous, you're going to get a new account constantly. It makes it really hard to figure out what's going on with your data, and not a great way to save your stuff long term anyway. So that's the start method. It signs in. Then we have a randomized method that fills up the player data with random data. I'll hit F12 just so you can see what that is. F12 is the hotkey, by the way, to go to definition. Left control and click also takes you to definition of stuff, though. So randomized is just a static method on the player data class, which is a very simple class. Returns back a new one with some random stuff, like I said earlier. Nothing special there. Load data we'll take a look at in a moment. First, though, let's see save data. And you can see how small this is. We're already back down to player data. There's not a lot that you have to do here for basic loading and unloading of data. So for save data, we create a new dictionary, and in that dictionary we give all of the things that we want to save a name for their key, and then assign the value. So here we've got name as name, level as level, and class as class. Now if you're wondering, could this just be like save data character equals player data to JSON, or JSON convert to, yes. You could definitely JSON serialize it, you could binary serialize it, and you can even just write the data directly out to a file. So there are lots of options here, but this one's the easiest for us to also see the data back in the back end in the web interface, which I think is fun to see and useful to see exactly how things are working and what's going on. So we create that dictionary with all the data we want to save, and then we call the save async method, passing in our save data dictionary. We make sure that this is awaited because it's asynchronous. If you don't do this, you're not going to actually get it saved. So make sure that it's an async method and that you're awaiting it, or use the new awaitable setup if you're trying to do stuff from coroutines. All right, let's go to the load data right up above. Load data just creates a dictionary of objects, or it gets a dictionary of objects by calling the CloudSave service instance.data.player.loadAsync. We pass in the hash set of the keys that we want to load. Right now I'm loading back all of them, the name, the level, and class. There's also an option to just load all of the keys on that player. Again, you probably want to load specific things. You might want to just serialize this out to JSON instead and do something that's a little bit more optimized. But if you want to pull back specific keys, specific values, you can do that here, or you can, again, grab them all. I'm grabbing the ones that we need though, and then if we get each one of these objects, so if we got a key with the value of name, then we get this name object back, and we read the value as a string. So you have to use the object, I think it's a JSON object or J object, then use the dot value, and then you can get it as a string, or you can get it as the other types, like an integer here that we do for the level. And that's really all there is to saving and loading some basic player data. Let's take a look at it in the dashboard, and then I'll tell you a little bit more about some of the security stuff and other things that you can do really quickly if you're interested in learning a little bit more about it. So here's the dashboard view. This is the existing project, and I'm going to find our existing player. So we'll go to player management here. Just on the left, I have a shortcut for it. And then you can see I've got my one player. If I click on that player, I can see their economy data is not set up at all. There's nothing there. Economy, another really cool, easy system to use. Probably worth checking out if you want to have items and inventory, especially if you want to have microtransactions. But if you want to have things that people can buy and all that, it's a pretty cool system. So CloudSave data here, I can see I've got my keys, and I think I have one extra one. I used to have experience in here, but I removed it. We can just delete that right out of there. So our data looks nice and clean. You can see I've got my class, my level, and my name. And if I go back into Unity again, let's just do that one more time. Change that data to something, I'll just do something totally free form. Let's do that. And we'll save it and see if that updates. So we'll change the name to subscribed, RIBED, and level to 99999, class to wizard. And we'll save that data. And then if we go back over to Cloud Code and refresh, or sorry, not Cloud Code, CloudSave. Cloud Code is another good one, though. Allows you to do some server authoritative saving of this type of data. There you go. You can see I'm a wizard, 99999, and I'm subscribed. So really briefly, I want to talk about the the differences here and the things that you need to pay attention to. When it comes to saving data, you can first on a player save data into the data with the keys and the just default JSON data. There are some limits there, but you can save quite a bit of data there. There's also the file section. You can save off data to a file. So if you've got a whole bunch of character info, you want to just store that in a file that you serialize and deserialize, FileWay is probably a slightly better way to go. If you want to grab just specific data, you can do that from the data method. Now, if you want a game where players can't just make a call from their client and change whatever data that they want, maybe you've got a dedicated server multiplayer game or something like that, then you can also call from Cloud Code into some protected data. There's data on players that you can associate with them that can only be written by a server that's using a service account. And this will allow you to do things that are a bit more authoritative. Say you want to build like a MOBA or you want to build a extraction game. That's what we're doing in the multiplayer mastery course, is an extraction game doing exactly that. But if you want to build a game where you've got data that is authenticated and authoritative done by the server where players can't just go in there, it's very similar. You just make these calls through the Cloud Code system using a service account that has access to it. It's something that players won't have access to. So there's some write only by server data that you can do, and then the players can still optionally read that. You can also have read and write stuff that only the server can access as well. But if you want to be able to like update a player's level and their experience and stuff, and you want that to happen from the server, then you can do that as well with very, very similar code. You just use some Cloud Code modules, do almost a simple copy paste, and then do your deployment, and it just kind of works. So it's a very cool system. If you're curious about it, interested in it, of course you can check out my courses, but just drop a comment down below and let me know if you've got specific questions, things that you want to learn a little bit more about with this stuff, or if there's anything that you think should be shared with everybody about the saving and loading and all this data management stuff. All right.